Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Rhino Movement. It's me, Iron Rhino. Um, just a little bit of I guess, housekeeping to start off with. All of my videos are starting to go through the process of being converted to audio so that they'll be available in podcast form. I don't have them hosted anywhere yet, but I'm working through that process, and hopefully, in the next video or two, I'll be able to make some updates about where that'll be available. Um, Keep an eye out either here or like on my Twitter to be able to see when those officially start going live. And then I'm going to try to get those posting on a regular cadence as well. So more on that to come, but I just wanted to let that be known because I know sometimes it's hard to dedicate yourself to sitting and watching a YouTube video, but hopefully you'll be able to get the information that I'm sharing by, you know, sitting down or listening to a podcast instead of having to sit in front of your computer or watch a phone screen to be able to hear what I'm talking about. So keep an eye out. My Twitter link will be in the description of this video. You can check there. And on top of just posting goofy random things that I normally post on Twitter, I will eventually start posting once my podcast is being hosted somewhere. Now, moving on from that. Uh, I really wanted to take an opportunity to talk about how to get the most out of your weight loss, your transformation, whether you're gaining weight, losing weight, whatever it is you're trying to do. Um, One of the biggest pieces of that people tend to overlook is actually the recovery aspect. People, understand the importance of doing something physical, whether it's, your cardio, your weightlifting, whatever thing it is you're striving for on that end, as far as like the training part goes, people understand how important that is. Most people seem to understand how important the nutrition aspect of things is, whether you're trying to eat in a caloric deficit or maintain or gain body weight in a caloric surplus. Um, that's something that a lot of people understand. It's not necessarily what everybody understands is like a major key there. But one thing that gets overlooked a lot is recovery, and specifically with rest or sleep. Uh, One of the hardest things to really push yourself for and to really understand, you gotta sleep, and you gotta sleep well. Um, to really maximize the results that you're looking for, sleep is king. Um, I am terrible at sleep. I I try. I really try. But on an average day I'm probably getting 5 or 6 hours of sleep. It's not enough. It is problematic. Um Not only do I not feel up to training as much, but my body isn't getting to power down. Previously we talked about that rest day thing, and it's not just about rest days when it comes to sleep. You need to be getting an adequate amount of sleep all the time. Every day you should be shooting for not just a long amount of sleep, but also a good quality of sleep. Uh, there are things you can do to help improve your sleep quality, and I don't have all of the answers there, obviously, since I'm not sleeping enough as it is. But I can tell you, this kind of dives a little bit into the supplementation thing again, but it also is just about, the conditions for your sleep. Um, so a couple little pointers that I really think you should focus on. One, uh, a lot of people know it, not a lot of people like to live by it, but not being on your phone or on an electronic device while you're trying to go to sleep. You can disrupt your circadian rhythm. You can actually trick your body into not being tired, and you can make yourself stay awake longer because you have that device in front of your face. Some people say that, if you don't have the blue light, that'll help. But I also know that, you're keeping your brain busy. And if your brain is still busy, it's not going to focus on you being tired. So get into a habit of, I've been trying to, once I lay down, I don't look at my phone. Or if I do look at my phone, it's to set my alarm or make sure my alarm is set. And then I try not to touch my phone again while I'm in bed. If I break my brain's habit of, we look through Instagram or TikTok or Facebook or whatever while I'm laying in bed trying to get tired, if I can break that habit, then my it's no longer going to be part of my nightly routine. And if it's no longer part of my nightly routine, it can't keep throwing off my sleep. And I know it's a real difficult one, especially because, like, if you're not instantly falling asleep when you get into bed, you want something to kind of fill that boredom and that void. But that boredom and that void is what's going to let your brain kind of cool down and get you to sleep. So it is really imperative, in my opinion, to not have that device in front of your face. Also, obviously, the darker the room, the better. I know that seems real simple, but not a lot of people live by that one either. And it is very important. You need to be able to replicate as dark of a situation as possible. You want it to feel like nighttime in your room. And I spent several years as an overnight bouncer and was sleeping during the day. And I will tell you 100%, if I didn't get my room dark, if I was sleeping, at someone else's house, or if I fell asleep in the living room or something, my quality of sleep took a nosedive if I wasn't in a darkened room. So that is also very important. Another one that's pretty easy to control is the temperature of your room. Our bodies get a more restful sleep in a cooler climate. So I sleep literally every night, even in the middle of the winter, with a fan on. There are some studies that I've read that say specifically cold hands and feet, specifically wrists and ankles, but just like that general area, will help you get a better quality of sleep. That's probably the hardest one for me to tackle because I can't sleep if my feet are too cold. And I sleep on my stomach with my arms under my pillow usually. So it's kind of hard to allow my wrists to get cold. But I have found that in general, if I just let my room be cooler, it does help my quality of sleep. That's kind of the easier, you can really just kind of implement those right now. You don't need to do anything special. The biggest special thing you may have to do there is, adjusting what curtains you have, or if you don't have a fan in your bedroom. But, they're simpler things to implement. Then on the like supplementation side of things, you do have options like melatonin. I personally don't use melatonin, not for any detrimental anything like that. I understand that melatonin is very effective for a lot of people. I personally wake up feeling very groggy if I've supplemented with melatonin the night before. I could sleep 8 or 9 hours after taking melatonin, and I still wake up in kind of a fog. I would rather not have that be a situation, because the point of getting better quality sleep is feeling more prepared for my next day. And if I'm waking up feeling groggy and unrested because of a supplement I took, that's not going to work for me. So I'm not saying don't take melatonin. Everybody has different reactions with melatonin. I am saying if melatonin isn't working for you, don't think it's the only answer. You can also do things like ZQuil. I personally have never taken ZQuil. I don't even really know what's in ZQuil, but I do know that people use it to supplement to help them sleep. Things that I would more readily recommend, where melatonin is already created in your body, and therefore generally kind of considered safe. There are other options of things that are already created inside of your body that you can add in a supplement to help increase the amounts of it, and they help you get that better quality of sleep. The first one I would recommend is 5-HTP. It's a precursor to tryptophan. The substance that's in turkey that a lot of people say, like, oh man, that's what makes you so sleepy after Thanksgiving dinner. It's not necessarily the case, but it does also help increase serotonin, so your brain will be calmer when you're going to lay down. It helps a lot with my anxiety. I spend a lot of time laying awake in bed at night thinking about things that I should have changed 15 years ago, and sometimes having that little extra boost of 5-HTP in my system really kind of helps me move away from having so much thought process happen in my head. 5-HTP is a naturally occurring amino acid inside of our bodies. So adding a supplementation of 5-HTP is not going to cause any kind of like chemical dependency or anything like that. It's just helping boost the level of something that's already inside of you in order to get you a better result when it comes to your sleep health. The other supplement that I actually probably use more than any other supplement, partially because it's generally pretty cheap, and the effect of it seems to be a little bit more noticeable for me. And it's GABA. I'm not going to pretend to remember what GABA stands for, but it's another form of amino acid that your brain naturally produces GABA. Supplementing with GABA will also have the same kind of effect as supplementing with tryptophan. You're not adding a chemical dependency or anything like that. You're just boosting the levels of this substance that already exists inside of your body. And what GABA does, in my experience, is if I'm not getting 8 hours of sleep at night, which I almost never get 8 hours of sleep at night, what GABA is doing is it's actually helping improve the quality of the sleep that I'm getting. So if I'm only sleeping for 5 or 6 hours, I can still feel like I've slept for 7 or so. I don't really know how to gauge the exact difference, but on 5.5 or 6 hours of sleep, I wake up feeling well rested. And, I monitor my sleep habits with my Fitbit while I'm sleeping. And on days that I forget to take GABA, you can see a lot more restlessness in my sleep because that GABA just kind of helps keep the body in that down-regulated state. I don't have any big recommendation for some special place to go to get either of those. I literally buy mine at Walmart. I'm pretty sure my GABA is like $8 or $9 for 90 capsules. I take 2 capsules a night, so I'm spending about $8 on roughly 6 weeks worth of the supplement. So again, it's fairly inexpensive, and it really does seem to do a lot for my sleep health. Obviously, the more comfortable that you can be when you're laying down for sleep, the better. Finding a pillow that agrees with your sleep style, finding a mattress that you're comfortable on, those are good things to do. But I know not everybody can afford to run out and grab a new mattress. Every mattress that I've had in the last probably, I honestly, I don't think I've ever bought a new mattress for myself. Everything I've had has always been a hand me down. So I'm not recommending anybody run out and buy a mattress to be able to fix your sleep health, because I know not everybody can go out and do that. What I am saying is, with what you have, try to make your sleep situation as comfortable as you possibly can. If you can afford little bits of money for things like GABA, for things like the 5-HTP, if you can afford to buy a better pillow, a better mattress, if you can afford extra fans for your room, those are things that are nice, but you can work with things that you have already around your house to help make your room darker. You can lay extra blankets on top of your mattress to try to make it softer if that's what you need. You know, there's ways that you can manage with what you have in your house already to be able to try to increase that sleep quality. But I'm just giving some options for things that you could potentially implement to help improve your sleep quality. I think the biggest takeaway is that first point we touched on, which is not having a screen on while you're trying to sleep. As someone who used to not be able to fall asleep without a TV on in my room, I know how hard that can be. Currently, I have no TV hooked up in my room. I have, you know, my computer monitors and a gaming TV here in my office, and my bedroom is literally just right through this door. But I power all of this down at night so that it doesn't affect my sleep quality. And that's a change that I was able to make with the things I have currently in my house to be able to improve my sleep quality. So I'm really just saying it could be that simple. It could be as simple as not looking at your phone while you're laying in bed, or turning the TV off once you lay down in bed so that you're not doing something to keep yourself awake and keep your mind busy. I know we're not all making a ton of money. You know, I've been unemployed for a few months now. I can't just go out and spend money on improving these things like my sleep quality. But I am saying that, you know, do the things that make sense for your life, but really addressing your sleep is going to be one of the biggest things that helps you make improvements to your quality of life. And it can go a long way. I went from sleeping like 4 hours a night to sleeping, you know, up to 6 hours a night, and I already feel a lot better. Now my body starts down regulating a lot faster on its own. So just kind of try to keep those things in mind. Make the adjustments that you can where you can, and hopefully start to see those benefits pretty rapidly, and you know, just live that better life. That's really all I have to say about it for today. I will potentially do a little bit more in-depth digging into some of the aspects of sleep and sleep science that we can talk about, but I really just wanted to get that information out there, especially for people who are really trying to improve their quality of life. So with that, make sure you're taking care of yourself out there. I appreciate you being here, and we'll talk to you next time.